tonight's bedtime story. It's titled Anna in the Fantasy Forest. Let's begin. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow that slowly succumbed to twilight, Anna found herself wandering farther from home than ever before. The woods of Banff were alive with the rustling of leaves and the unknown, distant calls of creatures. Each sounds as melodious whisper that seemed to beckon her deeper into the forest's embrace. Anna had always felt a peculiar kinship with the woods that bordered her small, ivy-covered cottage. Tonight, under a burgundy-young moon, that feeling intensified. It was as if the woods themselves were alive, breathing in rhythm with their own expectant heartbeats. As she meandered through the dense thicket, her small, nimble fingers brushed against the rough back of ancient trees. Each touch seemed to stir an echo, a soft murmur drifting through the air. Anna. The voice was hardly a voice at all, more a sigh of the forest, yet unmistakably calling her name. Startled, Anna halted, her wide eyes scanning the shadowy forms of oaks and maples around her. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice a mixture of fear and curiosity. "Do not be afraid," came a soothing reply, not from one direction, but all around her. The voice was gentle and reassuring, like the wind waving through the leaves. Anna took a tentative step forward. "Are you the forest?" "In a way," chuckled a voice, now clearly coming from a massive oak whose limbs swayed slightly, though there was no breeze. "I am Alwyn, guardian of these woods, and you, Anna, have a gift." "A gift?" Anna's voice quivered with a blend of awe and uncertainty. "Yes," Alwyn continued, his voice as ancient as the hills. "You can hear us, the voices of the woods. You can understand the language of all who dwell here. It is a rare magic bestowed upon those with a pure heart and a respectful soul." Anna's eyes widened in wonder as she processed the revelation. "But how do I use this gift?" "That will come with time," Alwyn assured her. "For now, listen, learn, and be our friend." Encouraged by the oak's kind words, Anna sat down at its roots, feeling the gentle pulse of the earth beneath her. One by one, creatures of the woods approached her, each curious about the human girl who could understand their whispers. A shy rabbit nudged her hand with its nose. A fox shared tales of moonlit escapades, and a wise old owl perched above, observing her with keen interest. Each story, each interaction, wove a tapestry of friendship and trust between Anna and the inhabitants of the forest. As the moon reached its zenith, casting silvery light through the branches, Anna felt a profound sense of belonging. The forest was no longer just a place of mystery and shadow. It was a home, a sanctuary, where every whisper held wisdom and every creature was a friend. Tonight, night was just the beginning, Anna knew. Many nights would follow, each filled with tales and secrets of the moonlit creek, with a heart full of excitement for the adventures to come. She whispered her thanks to the woods, her voice a gentle echo in the vast, whispering choir of the forest. Chapter 2. The Owl's Ancient Tale. The night air was crisp, and the leaves rustled softly as Anna returned to the heart of the mystical forest, her mind alive with the magic she had discovered. Guided by the silvery glow of the moon, she found her way to the ancient oak, where she had first spoken with Alwyn, the wise old owl. As she approached, the sound of gentle wing beats filled the air, and she looked up to see Alwyn descending gracefully onto a low, hanging branch. His feathers shimmered in the moonlight, giving him an ethereal presence. "Good evening, young Anna," Alwyn greeted, his voice as smooth as the calm waters of the creek. "I see you have returned, eager for more tales." "Yes, Alwyn," Anna replied, her eyes wide with anticipation. "I want to learn all that I can." "Very well," Alwyn nodded, settling his feathers. "Tonight I shall tell you of the great storm that once reshaped these woods, a tale of resilience and rebirth." Anna sat down at the base of the oak, the cool earth beneath her grounding her excitement. She looked up at Alwyn, ready to listen. "Many centuries ago," Alwyn began, his eyes reflecting ancient memories, "this forest was not as you see it now. It was a wilder place, untamed and freely sprawling across the land. But one night, much like this one, a fierce storm descended upon us. It was a storm unlike any we had seen before, with winds howling like the cries of 1,000 wolves, and rain that pierced like arrows." Anna listened, her imagination painting vivid images of the chaos Alwyn described. "The animals of the forest were frightened," Alwyn continued, "and many shelters were lost to the wrath of the storm. But it was the moonlit creek that saw the greatest change. The floodwaters grew and surged with such force that they carved new paths through the forest, uprooting trees and reshaping the very land." "How terrible," Anna whispered, almost feeling the fear that the creatures must have felt that night. "It was," Alwyn agreed, "but with dawn, as the storm calmed, a new forest emerged. The creek has spread wider, nourishing parts of the land that had been dry before, allowing new life to sprout. Over time, the forest adapted, grew stronger and more diverse. From devastation came a new beginning, teaching us all the power of resilience." Anna thought about Alwyn's words, the story settling around her like a warm blanket. "So, the forest was better after the storm?" she asked. "In many ways, yes," Alwyn replied. "It reminded us that even in the wake of great destruction, there is an opportunity for growth and renewal. The forest learned to bend in the wind, to accept change as part of life, and so must we, Anna. Like the forest, we must find strength in our roots and courage to face the storms." Sitting there, under the watchful eyes of Alwyn, against the ancient trees that bore witness to centuries of change. Anna felt a deep connection to the world around her. She understood that resilience was not just about surviving, it was about thriving, adapting, and moving forward with grace. "Thank you, Alwyn," she said softly. "I will remember this tale." And remember, Alwyn added as he prepared to take flight, that the wisdom of nature is a gift. It teaches us to look beyond the moment's strife and see the possibilities of tomorrow. With a graceful nod, Alwyn spread his wings and descended into the night sky, leaving Anna with a heart full of stories and a soul stirred by the timeless wisdom of nature. As she made her way back home, the forest seemed to whisper encouragement with every leaf that fluttered in the gentle night's breeze. Chapter 3. The Dance of the Fireflies. The moon hung full and bright in the sky, its silver light casting a dreamlike glow over the forest. Anna walked softly along the bank of the moonlit creek, her eyes reflecting the starry night above. The air was cool and fresh, filled with the gentle sounds of the nocturnal life stirring around her. As she reached a clearing, Anna noticed a flickering light in the distance. Curious, she moved closer, her heart beating with excitement. What she saw next took her breath away. Thousands of fireflies were gathered in the clearing, their bodies glowing rhythmically like tiny lanterns floating through the air. Mesmerized, Anna stepped into the clearing and sat down on a patch of soft moss. The fireflies seemed to notice her presence and began to swirl around her, their light enveloping her in a warm, golden haze. One firefly, larger than the others and glowing a deep amber, floated gently towards Anna and hovered in front of her face. "Welcome, Anna," it said in a tiny, tinkling voice. "I am Lumi, the elder of the firefly tribe." "Hello, Lumi," Anna replied, her voice filled with wonder. "Your dance is beautiful. Why do you dance like this?" Lumi's light flickered softly as it spoke. "We dance to keep the darkness at bay, Anna. Our light is a beacon in the night, a symbol of hope and a shield against the fear that darkness can bring. Each of us carries a tiny spark, but together our light is strong and bright." Anna watched as the fireflies danced in patterns that seemed to tell a story. "It's like you're painting with light," she said, her eyes wide with amazement. "Yes," Lupi agreed, twirling around Anna. "With our dance, we paint the night with joy and light. We remind all who watch us that even the smallest light has the power to break through the darkness. And just like us, every soul can shine brightly, no matter how dark the times may seem." Anna felt a warmth spreading through her heart. The fireflies' dance was more than just a beautiful display. It was a lesson in courage and hope. She realized that everyone has a light inside them, a light that can inspire and guide others. "Thank you, Lumi," Anna said softly. "I will always remember this dance and the lesson you've shared." As the night deepened, the fireflies continued their dance, their light lights weaving intricate patterns in the dark. Anna stayed with them, watching and learning, until the first light of dawn began to touch the sky. With a heart full of new understanding, Anna thanked the fireflies and made her way back through the forest. The dance of the fireflies had shown her the power of hope, and she knew that no matter how dark the path might seem, there was always a light waiting to emerge. The Fox's Midnight Errand. The moon was a thin crescent, barely lighting the paths of the mystical forest, and Anna was just about to settle into bed when a soft rustle at her window stirred her. Curious, she peered out and saw two bright eyes gleaming back at her in the dim light. With a gentle tap, the window swung open, and a fox with a sleek red coat and an impish grin jumped onto her windowsill. "Good evening, Anna," the fox whispered, his voice low and smooth. "I am Fenton, and I could really use your help tonight." Anna, accustomed to unusual visitors, smiled warmly. "Of course, Fenton. What do you need?" "It's my friend, the badger. He's fallen into a hunter's trap deep in the forest. I need your help to free him," Fenton explained, his tail twitching anxiously. Without hesitation, Anna grabbed her cloak and followed Fenton out into the night. The forest was a different world under the cloak of darkness, with shadows that seemed to dance and whisper secrets. Fenton led her through narrow paths and under twisted branches, his red fur a bright beacon in the moon's pale light. As they traveled deeper into the woods, Anna felt a thrill of adventure mixed with the pang of fear. But she remembered the stories of bravery she had heard from her other forest friends and felt a surge of courage in her heart. Finally, they arrived at a small clearing where the badger lay, his leg caught in the jaws of a metal trap. The sight of the badger, so vulnerable and in pain, strengthened Anna's resolve. "Don't worry," Anna reassured the badger as she knelt beside him. "We will get you out of here." Fenton watched anxiously as Anna examined the trap. Remembering a trick she had learned from a wise old owl, she used a sturdy stick to pry open the trap's jaws, being careful to keep her hands away from the sharp edges. With a click, the trap released, and the badger's leg was free. Fenton helped the badger up, supporting him as he tested his weight on his injured leg. "Thank you, Anna," the badger murmured, his voice filled with gratitude. "It was brave of you to come to his aid in the middle of the night," Fenton said, his eyes reflecting his admiration. Anna smiled, feeling a warm glow of pride. It was the right thing to do, and besides, I learned tonight that being brave isn't about not feeling scared. It's about doing what needs to be done despite the fear. Fenton nodded, his eyes sparkling with wisdom. And sometimes a helping paw or hand can make all the difference. Together, they helped the badger back through the forest into his den, where he could rest and recover. As they walked back to her home, Anna felt a deep sense of fulfillment. This night had been an unexpected adventure, but it had taught her more about bravery and the importance of helping others in need. first light of dawn tinged the sky with